Hi, Internet. It's Andy with Andrigan Gaming. I'm here with my buddy Tripp,
What's up, everybody?
and we are back in Final Fantasy XI to bring you our much-awaited Episode 4 of a new player's experience in Final Fantasy XI. And tonight, we are going to be performing a rite of passage for Tripp, and that rite of passage is the run to Jeuno.
No,
Dun, dun, dun.
ain't happening.
Everybody has to do it, and we actually both are still playing on our sub jobs right now that we were leveling. I'm actually at a 21 thief. I love thief. Thief was actually my intent to level first anyway, and at least until we get to 30 and can start unlocking some advanced jobs. And so I'm gonna stick with thief, and I think Tripp is gonna stick with warrior for a while, and we're gonna go. We're gonna make our attempt to run to Jeuno tonight. So. For any of you guys who have played the game in the past, you probably can remember your first run to Jeuno. I personally remember my first run to Jeuno was with a dude named Jeuno that was a level 50 paladin that I happened to become friends with in the dunes one day, and he was like, hey, you need to go to Quiffam Island and start leveling at level 20, and I was like, how do I get there? And he's like, come with me and I will show you. And so he literally walked me all the way to Jeuno, and there was much wailing and gnashing of teeth. I died multiple times, in no small part to the Malboros and Pashow marshlands, which I'm sure we will experience at some point tonight. So, Tripp, I will honestly say I hope after tonight you will have an exciting first run to Jeuno story.
No,
We'll see.
no. Hey, can I just point out that I have this huge claymore? I feel like I should paint half my face blue and just run around screaming, freedom!
'Cause I'm the William Wallace. It's... The sad part is that claymore, which is as big as your body, is a toothpick for a Galka.
Shut up.
You know, something that I never understood was how is it that you can take a set of chainmail off of Taru and put it at the auction house and a Galka can buy it and it still fits? You answer me that one.
Magic.
It's got to be the magic. Alright, so guys, we're going to start off at the survival guide here in Bestock Mines, and our first stop is going to be in the Constant Highlands. Now, if you are from another area starting, like Windurst or Sandoria, obviously this will be a little bit different for you. But coming from Bestock, this is the easiest way for us to get there. So, I will see you in Constant Highlands. You know, for years I pronounced that how did I pronounce it? Constant Highlands? No. Canoshed. I used to call it Canoshed Highlands. I have no idea why. It's not even reasonably close to the spelling of the word, but anyway.
Nobody wants to hear me try to pronounce it.
Well, I'm telling you, one of these days we're going to make a video of nothing but you and I trying to pronounce all the names in this game.
No. People will make fun of me and they will laugh. That is no fun.
No, they'll just be stricken down by our southernly charm.
You don't have much southernly charm. You just kind of got words. Some words.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Hey, if I wasn't busting you up, you wouldn't think I liked you anymore.
It's weird how that works. I don't understand that. If I'm mean to you, it's because I don't like you. But also, if I'm mean to you, it's because I do like you. And it's up to you to figure out which one it is. This is the problem I had with girls in high school.
You have no game for a lady.
One of many problems I had with girls in high school. Alright, so let me know if for any reason I scurry out of sight.
Nope, you're good.
If you happen to notice the ground rumbling, please tell me ASAP, because
I know.
Another fond memory is running into trimmer rams out here. So to give you a little bit of insight as to why the run to Jeuno was so difficult back in the day, number one, you didn't have trusts. So if you were running to Jeuno, it was just you. And we're going to run through some zones with some enemies that are significantly higher level than we are. So that was already working against you, because if you got anywhere near stuff that was significantly higher level than you, you were going to aggro it. And once upon a time, enemies didn't stop chasing you in this game. They would follow you all the way across a zone. Did not matter how far it was, they would chase you. And So yeah, if you picked up an enemy right close to the middle of the zone, it was chasing you all the way back out, and if you couldn't stay ahead of it, you were done. Not to mention the melee attack range on some of these enemies is about 45 feet. So yeah, many a death, many a death.
And you act like the Dooms was a scary place.
Well, the dunes, I really wanted to go into this in a little more detail, and since we're running, I may as well just go ahead and kind of talk about it. So, in our last video, we covered Tripp's initial entrance into the dunes, and I know a lot of you guys were responding back to me on Reddit, and we had a couple of conversations. Yes, you were absolutely correct that the dunes is not really that scary anymore. But once upon a time, the dunes was terrifying, and the reason for it was nobody knew what they were doing at level 10. When you hit level 10 in this game, unless you'd played before or knew people who were walking you through it, you wandered your way into the dunes and you were like, oh, look, there are lots of people with question marks above their heads. I wonder what that means. And so then you would see people typing in general chat and you're like, I wonder if I can type in general chat. And so you did. And then you found out that other people could kind of explain to you how all that worked, and that's really how you began to group, because you couldn't level in the dunes by yourself. I mean, unless you were in your level 20 range. So you had to have friends. And again, this was before trust, so you had to group up with other people. When people say that Final Fantasy XI was a game that was made great by its community, that's why. Because this game, unlike a lot of other games, forced you to interact with other people. You could not go from level 1 to 75 unless maybe you were playing as a Beastmaster. You couldn't go from 1 to max level alone. You just couldn't do it. So this is Pashow Marshlands, and we need to be a little careful here. Is this a survival guide? No, that's a field manual. Okay.
All right. Do we need any trusts before you start running off?
Actually, I think trusts would be a tremendous idea. That does sound good. Shantoto 2 is just ridiculously overpowered. It's insane how strong she is. She makes everybody else in the group look bad.
And that's just because she wears a cooler outfit than we do.
Yeah, and she's got the floating Dragon Balls all around her, which is kind of awesome as well.
Those are Infinity Stones.
Oh, my bad. Alright, so yeah, this place is reasonably dangerous. Just kind of try to follow me and swing wide of anything that look like those, like things like the Quadobs and the Goblins and stuff like that, they will aggro. So we want to try to swing wide of those if we can. I know there's a couple of notorious monsters in this area. One is a Gobu named the Green Giant, which is kind of funny. But I don't really think there's anything specifically that drops important stuff here. So.
Mm-hmm.
I do know there's a little area at the northern part of this. Okay, story time. So, back in the day, the economy on this game was absolutely foobarred. And unlike now, where you can go into you can use your points. The points that we used on Sparks. There we go. God, I knew I'd get it in a minute. So now you can use Sparks to go in and buy the shields, and you make like 27 grand a piece, and you can kind of keep yourself floating as long as you're doing Sparks stuff and getting Sparks. You can kind of keep your cash flow reasonable. Okay, hold on, pause the story time. See that thing right there? That Marlboro?
That big goofy looking thing over there?
Yes, that is a danger noodle. And we need to avoid getting anywhere near it at all costs. I'm really hoping it'll just move out of the way. Okay, let's swing over this way. Okay, so back to my story. So you couldn't just purchase things with Sparks and sell them off to make money. And so you would have to scheme. Like, you would have to come up with these harebrained ways to make money. Mm-hmm. And so what the popular thing to do was to either level Thief or use Thief as a sub-job and go to places like this and farm enemies that drop specific items that sold really well on the auction house, like silk thread or beehive chips or things like that, that would, they weren't worth a ton of money by themselves. Ooh, that's an NM.
What?
I bet you.
The water wasp?
No, that Nizo Bladebender. I gotta find out what level he is. I can't not check that. Ha! Yeah, he's level 40 to 45. We don't need to screw with him.
Oh crap. Okodov.
I think this one's low level enough. We should be okay. Yeah. Glad I didn't just haul off and go poke that guy, because that would have been really bad. Alright, so eventually I'm going to finish the story. So, one of the things that you could sell to make a pretty good price back in the day was Beastman blood. And there's a little pond that we will visit on our way out that had some leeches here in Pashow Marshlands. And I used to farm those leeches over and over and over and over again. And stack Beastman blood up as high as I could. And then I'd go sell it at the auction house and try to make a few measly pennies so that I could continue to fund all of my escapades. It was interesting. Yeah, Gobu's actually dropped vegetable seeds that were worth a pretty good amount if you bought them in stacks as well.
No, that's good.
Yeah, it's not really
Relevant anymore.
fruitful now. Yeah, it is not relevant now, but once upon a time it was really important. Oh, and these crawlers drop silk thread. I did used to come through here and farm these crawlers like crazy.
You know, Shantoto's hair is what causes her to be able to fly.
She's like the flying nun.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the sad part is this zone isn't even the worst one. So we still got to go through Rolandberry fields.
This song really has kind of got me with a little bit of anxiety right now. I mean,
The zone?
yeah, the zone has me pretty anxious.
You know, that was the great thing about Final Fantasy XI, though, was you never knew what was going to happen. Like, you could be running through a zone and everything would be easy prey, and then all of a sudden something would pop up and you're like, oh, let's go poke that. And the next thing you know, you find out it's like level 6,000, and it's basically farting in your general direction to your utter destruction. I mean, anything could happen. It was crazy. We're actually getting pretty close to the exit already.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. He doesn't hit that hard. We'll be alright. Die, Gobu, die, die. Is it Gobu? Is it Gubu? It looks like Gubu. I'm going to say Gubu.
Yeah.
That's fun to say.
Goobu.
Goobaboo. Hey, level 22. Alright, survival guide. Make sure you pick that up.
That's a field manual there. Where's the survival guide?
It's over here next to me. Turn around. See where the floating lady is? Come to her.
Yeah, I see it.
Man, she's got some creepy glowing red eyes, too. She's like a terrifying Cabbage Patch doll. Alright, you got it?
Yeah, let's go dodge more.
Onward.
Let's go dodge more things.
Well, fortunately, we're almost out of this zone. And we just got to get through Rolandberry.
I have never felt like I was in more danger in my life.
Give it about 15 seconds.
And I've been at your house when you were gonna cook.
Hey, you have your music turned on, right?
I do not.
Oh, you need to turn your music on for Rolandberry.
It's just not.
Like-
It's just not playing.
Oh, well, no, there's no music in this zone. But in Rolandberry, there is. Jeuno's music's really great, too. That's another thing that was really special about this game was the soundtrack. Oh, still transcends generations.
Well, that's because they keep making these games and they keep reusing soundtracks.
That's not true. You take it back. No, every Final Fantasy game ever made has had a very unique soundtrack. Is that another field manual? Of course it is. No one would put a survival guide this close to the entrance. Alright, you here?
Like, legit, I was gonna say this sounds like rainy guitar weather.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a rainy guitar song. Like, you would only play this sad song if it was raining outside.
Yeah, this whole area is kind of like a big vineyard. It's really weird.
It's very pretty. It's very pretty.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Oh, wow. The berry groves are incredibly tough. That's scary. I used to farm those things like crazy for silk thread. And I'm thinking what we'll do once we get to Jeuno is maybe venture down to Quiffam Island and go ahead and let you kind of experience that and get a couple more quick levels. And then we'll probably total it out for tonight. And then our next episode, we'll work on earning a mount. Hey, that Quidal was very tough. Let's fight him. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna poke him. Good. And see, the crazy thing is, okay, let's see. Our tank is doing 17 damage. Our healer is doing 18 damage. And I'm doing 2 to 4. So, you gotta imagine, everybody in the group back in the day used to do 2 to 4 damage per hit.
And the enemies are doing 60 and 70 damage.
Yeah, significantly more. Ooh, 3,120 experience. Holy crap.
That's nuts.
This one's incredibly tough. I wonder if we're brave enough to... I don't know. We're this close to Jeuno. I don't want to risk it now.
I should say we didn't take much on that last one.
Well, man, I feel like your adventure to Jeuno was significantly less exciting than mine.
I should say it was kind of rather boring. I didn't have to run for my life but once, and then we realized we could kill it, so it wasn't no big deal.
Yeah, well, we have trusts. This run was significantly harder back in the day without trusts, but
see, if we wanted to do this the real way, we should have done some of the trusts and ran through there. I think that thing just aggroed you. It did.
Which one? Well, let's see what we can do. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we won't. Ow!
Ow! He hits hard.
Yes, he does. Kind of XP we get? Big XP. Come on.
Another one. The Smithy's coming up beside us.
Ah, crap. I spoke too soon. We're getting some crazy day. Oh, God, there's two. I spoke too soon.
This is going to suck. I don't know if we're going to make it through this.
Perfect dodge. Use Mighty Strikes. God, I don't want to start this run over. Get out of the way. Crap. And melee out of pose, completely out of mana. And I cannot hit this guy to save my life. Come on, sneak attack, trick attack. Please land. Didn't do anywhere near enough damage. I'm dead. Yep. God bless it. I should have never opened my freaking mouth. Run. just run. Not that it will help you, but run. Okay.
Yeah, it killed me.
Martha Stewart.
That makes me sad.
One goblin, no problem. Two goblins, a little exciting. Three goblins,
nope.
Dead. And now you know. That sucks. Now we got to run all the way back through.
Yeah, but the best thing in the world is we got that survival guide in the middle of the bogs.
Yeah, in the marshlands.
Yep.
Yeah, but dude, we were literally like we could have thrown a rock and hit Jeuno. Ugh. There it is. Look at her. The beautiful city of Jeuno.
I still can't see it yet.
Isn't she magnificent?
Can't see it yet.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a big old mound tower thing. Dude, that little Taro right there is literally wearing rose-tinted glasses. I mean, literally.
It's the Final Fantasy XI Taru.
When you play a game like this, either you're an old-time player or you're disillusioned of what fun is. So I'm just gonna have to consider myself disillusioned.
I had a comment on one of our videos earlier, and he says, "How can Final Fantasy XI be your favorite game ever? It just dumps you in the middle of a city with garbage controls and never says anything." I was like, "Yeah, well, 16 years ago that was fun because that was what we had. This is before World of Warcraft even existed, man." And you know, a lot of people fuss about that, but World of Warcraft didn't even get a really structured questing system until I think Wrath of the Lich King.
Well, I mean, and let's move back. I mean, you have Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2. I mean, if you really want to talk about game mechanics, I mean, everyone who takes it for Warcraft, I'm a long time Warcraft player, so y'all be gentle. But people like to call out this game versus Warcraft, but Warcraft had the kind of humble beginnings that this game has had. Don't get me wrong, it's got this big backstory and everything's kind of a flow in order, in line, and this game is kind of a standalone game on its own, but they still had their own humble beginnings.
That's true. That's
I
true.
mean, I mean, I mean, this game led to what Final Fantasy 14 is today. I mean, so regardless if you think they have garbage controls or this was bad or that was bad, look at what we have now due to this game.
That's very true. Very true. And everybody's got to walk before they can run. I just think that it would do this community a great service if they would put a brand new pair of Nikes on this game and let it run. That's all I'm saying. Final Fantasy 14 is great and all, but it's a different game. It's not the same game.
Exactly. But I mean, you had to have this game to get to Final Fantasy 14.
There are a lot of people who play 14 that. Oh, well, yeah. You're talking about in the development cycle.
The technology,
absolutely.
The look, the feel, the idea of, okay, this is what we had. How can we make it better? See, this is what's odd to me is, I'm so used to everything being so linear.
Mm-hmm.
That okay, this zone goes with this expansion, and this doesn't work that way.
Yeah, well now that there are 5 expansions and 6 add-on contents and 1 additional closing pack in, there's so many cutscenes in this game, and they're triggered in so many different ways that unless this is one of those games that you either have to have somebody like me telling you exactly where to go and what to do, or you have to have a second monitor open with BG Wiki or FFXI Apedia. Yeah, I mean you just can't play this game without outside info. But see, the interesting part is back in the day, whenever I used to play this in the 75 era, we didn't really.
There was no Wikipedia.
Well, nobody had 2 monitors either. Like, I would print out information on quests and notorious monsters and stick it in a binder so that I could go back and look at it later. But yeah, you had to completely log out of the game and find it, and then you'd have to log back in and try to remember. I mean, dude, I would sit there and write notes off of Alakazam. Oh no, this is a Crystalline Prophecy. Okay.
Hey, it's Shantato. She's over here giggling maniacally.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But
no, think about this. Like, YouTube wasn't really a thing when this game even came out.
No, didn't even exist.
Because me and you were talking about it the other day. YouTube came out in 2005.
That sounds right.
And so, I mean, when this game came out, I mean, and now we're getting to let this game live forever through the power of the internet.
Through the power of the internet.
Just like Wildstar. Hashtag Rip Wildstar.
Rip Wildstar.
Tomorrow, I don't know when we're getting this video up, but as of right now, tomorrow is the closing deadline day for the game of Wildstar that we have gotten so many views on.
I know. It breaks my heart, man. It's such a great game with so much potential that just got lost. Alright, so this is Lower Jeuno. Jeuno consists of 4 different areas. There's Lower Jeuno, Upper Jeuno, Port Jeuno, and then Relude Gardens. And you'll be spending a lot of time in all of them. But for right now, we're going to go down to Port Jeuno, and we're going to run out to Quiffum Island. And, yeah, we're going to kill a couple worms. And this guy right here, Oboro, he's a pretty big deal later on in the game. Oh, look at that paladin armor. That's really pretty.
Yeah, she's really cool. I still think I can take her.
Lol. We're going to be going down through these tunnels, and there are bats, and there are what are called weapons that are down here, so we need to dodge those like the plague, at least as best we can.
So what you're saying is we're gonna die.
Well, the route to get to the actual Quiffam Island area is one wrought with many perils. I'll say that. Alright, so you see right there, Seeker, Bats, and Dancing Weapon. The bats are only tough. The Dancing Weapon is very tough. Okay, so technically we could take both if we had to, but let's go ahead and knock these bats out real quick. Welcome to Quiffam Island. Let's fight a worm.
Got a flintstone. Get it? Flintstone. Yabba dabba doo, buddy.
Stop it.
I'm gonna take the big guys over there are a note.
I don't think that'd be that bad, honestly. I would avoid pissing that white off.
No skeletons.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the skeletons if possible. Slippery sucker. Huh, that's an NM. I'm not messing with it. Hey, let's go out with a bang. Let's go kill that giant over there.
Alright, wait, let me get this home point real quick.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, my parrying skill reached something. 32 points of damage. My store skill went up 0.4.
See, we wrecked that dude. And you hit level 26. All is well. Well, folks, that concludes another enjoyable evening of leveling with my buddy, Tripp. And I feel like his run to Jeuno didn't start that chaotic, but unfortunately it would seem that I jinxed us. And I'm really sorry about that. But we bounced back and all is well. And we made it to Jeuno. So that was an accomplishment. That's another notch in your belt. And what level are you now? You're 26?
26 and a half.
26 and a half. So you're only 3.5 levels shy of being able to unlock that Dragoon job that we were looking forward to. So hopefully our next episode will entail us doing the mount unlock. And then we'll probably curtail that into working on the Dragoon job quest. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But for tonight, that's about all the fun that I can stand. And so until next time, Tripp, you want to close us out?
I'm Tripp.
And I'm Andy.
And we can't wait to see you next time. Deuces.
Boop, 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 boop.